Alright, guys, it's time for another obscure game review. Hey, everybody, Bobby here for the GM table, and we're going to be reviewing and more or less first impressioning a game. Odds are 90, maybe even 99% of you have never even heard of. Now, full disclosure at the beginning of this, I was contacted by the creator of this game asking me if I would review it, and they sent me a free copy. They didn't pay me. In fact, I've been contacted by several creators lately. I think this is one of the ones that actually asked if I needed to be paid for reviews, because sadly some reviewers are pushing that, and I want you all to know first and foremost, because we may be getting sponsorships by games and things in the future. Some stuff's being talked out. I don't want to make promises. No review will ever be paid for. Any game you see that sponsors this channel is one I've already read and I feel is okay to sponsor our channel. Not they paid me, and even though they didn't pay me for the review, I review the positively and they didn't pay for that, they pay for other things, so I'm influenced. No. I review the game, and if I think the game is good, or even if it's flawed, it's good enough and it doesn't contain things that contradict the messages we have at this channel, then we move on towards possible endorsements and things like that. But moving on, all that boring stuff out of the way, what's the game? Well, it's called Justice Velocity. And if you guys have been watching the actual plays or even followed some of my other games that have been posted on the channel stuff, while I love grounded games, my games always kind of go bananas eventually. Something goes off the rail. A crazy or funny idea, and things snowball. Well, Justice Velocity is the 80s and 90s action movie type game. Now, we've had games like that before. Feng Shui 2 is Hong Kong action movies, the game. This isn't quite that. This is a very loose game. It is roll 2d6 plus a modifier for a DC based game. When I first saw 2d6, I was actually expecting a Powered by the Apocalypse type system, but no, it's 2d6 plus a modifier similar to d20 types games, but just you roll 2d6 instead. Now, the feel is, this is the Fast and the Furious movies. Not the first three. I personally actually have a soft spot in my heart for the first Fast and the Furious because it came out when I was in middle school, and it's Point Break. And Point Break's a good movie, so let's be honest, Fast and the Furious is just another Point Break. But after those first three movies is when it started becoming essentially a Cars-based superheroes game where things just got cranked. Not to 11, but to 12. Well, Justice Velocity is that game, and it is that world. Character building is not class-based, it's very open. I do think some of the stuff could use refining. I'm not saying this is a perfect system, but it's a fast system, it's a loose system. Everything's in this little book. Everything you need, at least, and it's loose enough you could make more stuff. The character building feels actually very similar to the edges in Savage Worlds. And yes, I know a lot of people think edges are just like feats in D&D, but there is a difference between the two, and this is closer to edges in Savage Worlds than D&D or Pathfinder feats. They let you do things, they let you do cool things. This is a game that literally has like health packs and ammo ups and stuff. It's very video gamey. If you want to play a Grand Theft Auto tabletop game, use this. It'll handle it. It's nothing crazy. Well, the setting is crazy, but it's no crazy crunch. It's not really even a crazy investment either financially. It's a pretty cheap game. I want to say it's like $15. Again, I was comped it before my vacation. I've had 2 weeks since then, and I apologize. I'm spacing. I had to record last week's whole gaming drama video and everything, so my head's out there, but I want to say it's like $15. And it's a fun game. It's a fun time. I wouldn't really do it too much for campaign play, but for pick up and play games, for filler games, for one shots, heck yeah, you can do it. for campaign play. I'm not saying it's impossible. There's leveling mechanics and all of that. It's not a game built for one-shots. But just my style, my flavor, I'd use them for filler games. Anyways, there's Justice Velocity. Short review for a short little indie game that I'm actually really glad I found out about. I don't think I ever would have heard of this or found out about this if it weren't for the creator contacting me. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.